Hello folks, what's going on? We're still without a front tooth. A week from today, April 7th, I go in for an assessment so we can find out what they can do and how much it's going to cost me. In the meantime, I've received more records, another package from Norway. Folks, thank you so much. This is from a Simon. I am not exactly sure how or why I'm making a connection with people in Norway, but it's wonderful. I've received several packages from people in Norway. Ole Jani, and now Simon, and before that I've received records from Frank Willie, who's in Norway. I don't know if you watch my videos, Frank. We talk a little bit on Facebook. But I appreciate it. I've never been to Norway, but I'd like to. And Simon sent me some fantastic records, so I get to share them with you. We'll start with the single. The single was the one thing that he sent, well, one of the things he sent that I didn't know anything about. Blood on Wheels. And he sent little notes with each record, and he said this was a randomly chosen Norwegian band that he wanted me to hear. Nice colored vinyl. Chemical High, You Ain't Stoppin'. This is a stomping kind of punky sound. I'm gonna put some music on, not that, but just some music in the background. It's you know, music has come so far from just rock and roll that figuring out how to, you know, what box, and I don't like putting things into boxes, but this has punkness to it, but it also has the heavy rage of just plain old rock and roll. I like this, Blood on Wheels. He sent me like five albums, and they're all fantastic. It's all mixed up already because I just keep playing records. In these crazy times, I call them crazy times, one of the few things that you can do is just try to ease your head at home and listen to some music or whatever, calm our stress. The world is just insane. Okay, all right. So Simon sent me these records, and he gave me a choice, which was nice. He sent me a list and gave me a choice, and most everything on the list that I had to choose from I wanted. A couple I didn't. A couple I had. I'll show those last. Put on my funky glasses. I'm gonna need them. First of all, I'll show this new wave band that he sent me called The Cut from Norway. Shadow Talks, The Cut. Once again, I've been saying that. Okay, so first off, what I want to say is I appreciate, Simon, you sending this to me so I get to hear it. I had not heard of this band, and I love it when I get a chance to hear music like this that doesn't make it into the mainstream worldwide. This starts off with a bang. The first song on this album, The Crowd, is killer. And a little bit of split ends maybe in the sound. The second song lost me right away. The first song is Gangbusters, great. No doubt I'll be listening to this whole album though sometime soon. The Cut, Shadow Talks. What we're listening to, if you can hear it in the background, is not one that Simon sent me, but I'll just mention it's a compilation put out by Sonic Records called Eilation. I love this, and we're listening to Wivi de Crepon and FX Randomize, Mouse on Mars, Microstoria, Oval. Folks like that are on this album. I love it. The other album he sent me that I didn't know about, I have to listen to some more. But he asked He sent me an album of Norwegian folk music by Kong Lavring. Kong Lavring, maybe that's how you say his name. I like the cover. I've only played a little bit of this, so I'll have to get back to you, but my first impression is it's folk music. This is all traditional music of Norway, I understand. And so there's a jaunty, light feeling to what I've listened to so far. I don't understand the language. And so I get the sense that the first few songs on this album are about establishing a zone of safety and comfort mentally for people with the music. It's like everything is okay. We're happy, you know, life is good. But I haven't listened to the whole thing yet. But I want to say once again that I really appreciate having the opportunity to hear something in this setting. You can listen to everything online, but it's a different thing to drop the needle on the record in your home and have that personal experience with the music. So I really appreciate this, and we'll probably say more about it later, Simon. But I initially enjoy it. I do enjoy it. And he's playing this instrument here. That's some kind of zither, isn't it? He plays that on the album. I like this. Thank you. Okay. All right, so he sent me 3 records I knew I was going to get. Well, actually, he sent me 2. Then another one he alluded to that he was going to send. And then this one I didn't know he was going to send. And he explained why he sent it. He sent me Infant Eyes by Doug Karn on Black Jazz. Quite a few folks in the VC are collecting this label, and this is my first Black Jazz album. Now, Simon sent it to me because he said it's warped and it doesn't play on his turntable. Thankfully, it plays fine on mine. But this is when RCA Ovation was experimenting with record size. Weight, I mean. And this is extremely flimsy. Look at that. It's like, you can look at what I can do. Dynaflex is what they were calling. Some of these Dynaflex records don't sound that bad, but this one is a perfect example. The way that it's warped is throughout the record like bumps, but thankfully it plays on my turntables, plays fine. And I love this music, Doug and Gene Karn. This is beautiful, deep music. I didn't endeavor to collect this label because I don't know if this is going to sound right. I'm going to say it the way it feels. I have not felt a need to show my black identity like I did when I was a teenager when I discovered it. You know, I like what I like, and I don't feel the need that I have to represent. Do you understand what I mean? So it's like I don't have to be listening to black jazz. I don't have to have these records, and I have what I like, and I like this. And I'd be happy to accept more black jazz albums. I would. It's great, you know. But it's an observation that I've tried to make before, where it's like, historically, there's always been this, you know, the colonialization of the planet by the white race in general makes it look like, not makes it look like, but because of that part of the history, white people supposedly discovering and loving black music, and, you know, and that somehow that gives them an air of legitimacy, or that it's somehow better. You know, I've always been noticing and observing that from the opposite point of view since a child, you know, as a person of color who likes all kinds of music, and how when I would do what those people were doing by being interested in their music, white music or whatever, well, it wasn't the same. It wasn't cool, you know. Somebody understands what I'm trying to talk about, you know what I mean? Just, that shit's always been weird to me, you know what I mean? We're all black. Okay, these last three are just killer. Just killer. Simon in Norway, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for these records. I about did a jig when I saw them. I'm serious, you know. I don't do live openings. I've done one, but I don't want to do it because I feel like, you know, people are expecting something, and I fucking hate that, okay? So, Between, I had told him I love this album by Between. Einstieg, or Einstieg. I believe this is their first album. Peter Michael Hamel. I guess a good way to describe this is world music, spiritual world music. Reflective, percussive, and then ambient and open and spacious. Fantastic. On Wergo. Beautiful pressing on Wergo. Sasha, if you happen to see this, you told me you live near the Wergo plant. Hey, Sasha, over there in Germany. Between. Fantastic. Played this all the way through because I just love this music. It's really healthy. Really healthy. Real healthy music. This blows me away. He offered me a Far East Family Band album. Nipponjin. Join our mental phase sound on Vertigo. Yes, this brings great joy to own a copy of this. I have one other album by them. But to finally own this. Originals, the Japanese originals go for big money. Even these aren't that cheap depending. But I never see it in my area, in the stores. And I played this all the way through. I love this music. Japanese Pink Floyd. That's how you call this. Japanese Pink Floyd. Beautiful sounds. On the Spaceship Vertigo. This is not the Swirl. Wow. And then this one just blew me away. I wasn't expecting this one. But I really wanted this album. Socrates Drank the Conium. Greek band. On the Wings. Man, this is heavy. Fantastic. I have another Socrates album, the one they made with Vangelis, Phos. But I've been wanting this, you know, album forever. And this is a reissue, a recent Universal Music 180 gram reissue. Really nicely done. Comes with a poster. On this really nice paper, textured paper. And this is just a stomping rock album with progressive moves as well. It's just, you know, it's like, oh man. I remember these days as a kid. Let me see if I can try to describe this. I remember as a young kid in the late 60s and 70s going, I don't even know, some of these situations where I would end up at people's places where I hardly knew the people, but I would just be freaking out on their record collections and the records they were listening to. Young hippies, long-haired hippies, dope smoking, naked people everywhere, and this heavy music that, you know, I wasn't hearing anywhere else. Heavy like Led Zeppelin and Blue Cheer, but not them. Bands like this, that it turns out this is what they were listening to. Bands like Socrates, Drank the Conium, My Solid Ground, these bands that are very collectible now, kind of blues-based rock. And that's what one of these is. So thank you, Simon, so much for sharing this music with me. Been listening to a lot of music, but I'm going to keep this one short. I have some meetings today. The documentary filming has started. Just trying to get myself together on how to move forward on, you know, just making it, you know, because it's still fuzzy, you know. I have records for sale. People have been buying them. One sale a day is not bad. I'm glad for it, you know. thank you folks. Some of you folks have just been catching up and buying everything. I would say your name, I don't know if you want me to, but a couple folks have been just steadily buying everything that I put out. Thank you. Thank you so much. Fred Big Star 1000, nice to hear from you in a recent video, and I did watch a video. I didn't leave any comments except hello, but you're still one of the best here. And I want to remember people and then I forget, you know. I just want you all to understand, you know, just thanks, you know, for being interested. Thank you. Thank you. Talk to you soon. Fundraiser's still going. The pre-orders for Myths and Realities are still going. I'm hoping, I mean, it should be here. April is a day away. The album, I should have the album before the end of April. And so should you.